In this episode of Hoax Hunter, we're looking at one of the wildest claims to come out of the newly released Jeffrey Epstein files, the idea that the word jerky was a secret code for human meat. This rumor exploded across social media, but when you actually read the documents, a very different story shows up. The viral jerky claim, after a new batch of federal case files related to Jeffrey Epstein went online, users started sharing screenshots of emails that mentioned jerky. Some conspiracy posts claimed this was coded language for cannibalism and tied it to references to a restaurant called The Cannibal. One Facebook video flat out claimed that jerky in the files was a code word for human flesh, and this idea got boosted on forums, Reddit threads, and other social platforms. From there, Jerkygate became another layer added onto the already disturbing Epstein narrative. When fact-checkers went through the emails, they found the references to jerky were exactly what they looked like: dried meat snacks, mostly beef. The emails included grocery and shopping lists that literally say things like beef jerky, turkey jerky, steak, roasted chicken, yogurt, muffins, and other completely normal foods. Discussions about buying grass-fed beef jerky from specific companies and making homemade jerky from steak. Notes about Epstein being on a high-protein diet and eating a good amount of beef jerky throughout the day. One email even complains that they had gone through around 70 pounds of steak in 2 weeks just to make jerky for him. That's extreme, but it's still just beef jerky. There are also messages about sending jerky with Epstein's girlfriend on trips to his private island, having a sample of the homemade jerky sent to a lab for nutritional information, a story about someone's dog breaking into a suitcase to eat the jerky sample. All of that lines up with exactly what you'd expect if a wealthy client is obsessed with a particular snack and has staff making it in bulk. The chef speaks out. A key piece here is the chef himself. One of Epstein's former chefs, Francis Derby, confirmed that when the emails say jerky, they're talking about beef jerky made from dry-aged New York strip steak. He explained that his job was food preparation and menu development, including making jerky for Epstein's diet. There was no coded meaning behind the word jerky, and any suggestion otherwise is wrong. References to jerky versus other foods were simply about what Epstein was eating at the time, not some secret ritual. Derby also said that after his main stint as a chef ended, he later came back once just to teach Epstein's staff how to make the jerky, and was paid as a consultant for that single session. Is there any truth to this? As seen on the Epstein files,
people going crazy think they found a code word for human meat? Wait, what?
Hope you are feeling better. Did we analyze the jerky? Why didn't we get jerky this week? Beef jerky, delicious. Jojo is here and we'll walk the jerky over to Jeffrey. We'll walk the jerky over to Jeffrey.
Why would jerky walk around? Why would it do that?
Delicious lunch, beef jerky. Steve and I are very grateful above all for your friendship. Some of these emails are so wholesome, aren't they? It's too bad they eat kids. A small insulated bag would be fine. I don't remember checking it. No need for crazy amounts of ice. One should do. There is one bag of beef jerky in the fridge. Please get it. Also, Blank has more at her place. Please get it from her as well. I suppose it needs to be in a cold, insulated bag. Just wanted to touch base about jerky. J.E. said he was going to start eating regular food again, so he might be eating less jerky. He said he has 6 bags of it in a downstairs freezer. Why would you freeze jerky? Steve needs a 6 to 8 ounce portion of jerky. I gave you all the jerky we had, and it lasted only half the amount of time it was meant to. I felt like it was more important for you to have the jerky to eat during my time off. My plan is to make a batch before I leave for LSJ, and some of that will go to Steve, and the rest will go to you at LSJ when I arrive. Little St. James Island. And that's what LSJ must mean. So logically, that means that they were doing this off of the island. Steve Hansen is sending jerky to your attention overnight. I believe it should be enough to get him through. Jeffrey Epstein is asking to bring him more jerky. I'm flying in on Friday. I will bring jerky. Is there a time I could come say hi and drop off the beef jerky? And that's from Jeffrey Epstein.
Francis has time to come tomorrow. Show me how to make it. Jerky class anyone. He will bring you to taste his new jerky recipe from the restaurant. He sends a warm hello. He's working at a restaurant called guys, the restaurant's called Cannibal and Cooks. Wait for it. Beef jerky and steak.
The Cannibal restaurant misunderstanding. A big part of the rumor came from the restaurant name, the Cannibal Beer and Butcher, where Derby later worked as executive chef. Conspiracy posts tried to tie the restaurant's name to actual cannibalism and to the Jerky emails. But the restaurant's own archived site and reviews make it clear. The name The Cannibal was a reference to Belgian cyclist Eddy Merckx, whose nickname was The Cannibal because of how relentlessly he competed. It was a normal, public restaurant and butcher shop known for beer, meat dishes, and house-made beef jerky, not human meat. It had multiple locations, open to anyone during regular hours, not a tiny secret spot for elites. Derby has directly said the place was just a regular, busy restaurant concept, and that claims about it being ultra-exclusive or involved in anything darker are inaccurate. So why did Jerky turn into human jerky online? A few reasons show up again and again. The Epstein case is already horrific and tied to real abuse and real crimes. So people are primed to believe the worst of any new detail. The files include tons of random material and out-of-context snippets, like Jerky plus Cannibal. Make great viral bait when you strip away the boring explanations. Influential accounts amplified the rumor, suggesting sinister code words without presenting real evidence. Fact-checkers who reviewed the emails and the Jerky references rated the claim that Jerky meant human meat as false, because every piece of documented context points to regular beef jerky and normal food logistics. So, did the Epstein files secretly reveal a network of cannibals using jerky as code for human meat? No. When you actually read the emails, it's just a rich man with a ridiculous obsession with beef jerky and the staff trying to keep up. Epstein's real crimes are already horrific and well documented, and we don't need invented cannibal code words to make him look even worse. On Hoax Hunter, we focus on what the evidence actually shows, even when that means debunking a theory that sounds shocking but falls apart under basic scrutiny. If you found this breakdown interesting, throw me a thumb. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, and I'll post more on the Epstein files. And let me know in the comments which Epstein file rumors you want me to deep dive next. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see y'all in the next one.